Okay. Good evening, brothers, and I appreciate for you to come and take this time and to join us as AMO and be part of these engagements. Uh, One of the reasons why we chose the Wednesday is that we don't have a space where we can interact as men and share some ideas and address certain topics. And today the topic is business secrets. This is an introduction. Why am I saying it's introduction is that this is a broad and a technical a topic that doesn't need an hour. Let me say an hour is not enough for us to Landuga to tackle the entire topic. So we, one way or another, we are involved in business, and there are two areas that we would like as a committee to look at before we can get into others. But today we tackle these ones: the business ethics, and then the second one is why is it our businesses uh, will die when the parents or the business owner dies. I'll use it, our generation, where we've known there are families that have been having supermarkets or taxi or whatever form of a business. But when the owner dies, that business dies with them. And what the question is, what is wrong? What is it that we're not doing right? Maybe we can equip each other here so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. So, and also another one that we can look at maybe at the later stage is to look at, I'll say, 5 areas that we can focus on, or that we need to focus on as we are engaging in business. I'll start with, I'll say it's family, friendships, and finances, faith, and physical health. It's family, friendships, finances, faith, and physical health. And these 5 focus areas are linked to these 2 topics that these 2 areas or 2 areas that we want to focus on, which is today, is business ethics and why our business, what is it, die when the owner dies. So first we could look into, let's say, I'll go to the Bible. One way or another, when you look at Paul, you find out that Paul, the skill that he was having was to make tents, or the trade, let me use the word trade, that he was doing. He was making tents. He was a tent maker, of which, as much as he was preaching the gospel, but he was making tents. Why he was making tents? It was for him to be able to live and sustain himself. If I go back to the Old Testament, you look at what is it? Your Abraham, your Jacob. They were, as much as they were having, we see that they were having wealth in terms of animals, but also they were digging wells. So that is a form of a trade. I can say maybe it is their business. It was a business that they were doing to sustain and provide their families. So today, we either, I'll make an example. you either in business or you are employed. Where you work, you are providing a service. So trustworthiness or being trustworthy, it is so important when you're doing the business, because when you say that you are going to pay someone, you must make sure that you do pay. When you say that you are going to deliver that particular service, you must make sure that you do deliver or provide the service to your best of your ability, so that that person comes back and do business with you again. So being ethical, it is so important when you are doing the business. And looking at that business ethics is that the people that we are buying, let's say you are manufacturing something, the people that we are buying from, you need to make when they provide you with that raw material. Let me make an example. Untate Betane, we know that he is he feeds, he's doing farming, yes. So he's got chickens. So he's got suppliers there that supply him with chicken feed and other things. And for him to be able to have that business running is also depending to his suppliers. Another example, Utatu, our very own brother, Dr. Mema, Elder Mema, he is running, I'll say what, a health business where he is healing people, also is selling products. For him to be able to get the products that he makes, he needs certain ingredients where he needs, is there someone who is supplying him for that. And the way he conducts himself is the way that will determine whether the relationship that he's got and with his, I'll say, what is it, creditors? Yeah, with his creditors, and also with the people that he supplies the finished product to, which is the customers. How he conducts himself is the one that will determine whether he is going to continuously having clients or customers, and his business grows. It will grow and become like your, or either say your Discoms, your Clicks, and others. So that part, which is business ethics, how you conduct, it's so important, and that will also result into word of mouth, where he gets more clients and getting more credit, that you can either start paying 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days because of how he conducts himself. So I'll just pause here and check if there's anyone who wants to comment on this part, and also share maybe an experience. You don't necessarily have to name a person, an experience in your dealings with various people in terms of this part of being ethical in doing business. Is there any takers? Okay.
Maybe
yes,
if I can come in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think ethics are very important, ne? But we must accept that the world esiphila kuyo at the moment is very corrupt. in doing business, you need to take a decision that I'm becoming ethical no matter what. If I lose business, it's fine. You need to accept that first, so that when challenges come, you don't become confused. I will make an example. I'm in accounting field. So we know that there's a brown envelope that goes around in many businesses, especially those who specialize in tenders. So you can be ethical and say, I don't want to involve myself to the activities that are not correct or that are unethical. Let me make an example. Someone gets a tender of a 2 million. He has to pay a bribe of 500,000. Then this person, if he comes to you and say, can you please prepare the financial statements for me? Only to find the cost of operating that tender. Maybe it's, let's say, it's 1.1 million. So, but the actual cost, it means it's 1.6, because it's going to be 1.1 plus the 500,000. So if you don't want to accommodate the 500,000 that does not have the invoice, it means this person will have to pay a tax that it's more than his profit. So as a result, that person won't come back to you. Hence, I'm saying, when you enter into business, you need to be straight with your ethics and be prepared, so that you don't become confused when such situations come and say, it looks like I'm pushing myself out of business. If it's something that you have prepared yourself with, it becomes easy that this is not the job that I'm supposed to take, because these things happen. But the danger of it, you have started, you know what is happening in this business. This person, if he will go to another accountant, he will do the job for him the way he wanted. But if he get caught up about his actions, and he thinks of the people who knows how he does his business, you are the first one. You are also maybe one of those people. So in other words, I'm saying those are the challenges that you will meet. I don't know on other businesses, but I'm talking about my business. And secondly, ethics are very important, my elder. That's why at times people can't give people they know business, because people talks. It's very painful that Elder Nxusane gave Jacobs his books to prepare our financials work. Then you hear somewhere people talking that this business is overdated. It's because of ethics. People talks about things that they are not supposed to talk about, or people don't keep things confidentially. Maybe I become careless. I just put things anywhere in my house, and anyone can look at those things. So it's very important that when you work with other people's books, you keep things confidential. I will talk about accounting because that's my field. Those are the ethics that you need to do. That's very important that you become careful in each and everything that you are doing. Otherwise, you will find yourself without a job. Or you will find yourself with a lot of job, but not making money because you tend to accept things that are wrong at the later stage. They become costly to you, your decision that you are taking. Yeah, no, those are the few things that I wanted to highlight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mtalon. Yes, yeah. You see, what you are mentioning, it is so important because that trust and how you conduct the business, it is also linked to what is those 5 areas, focus areas that I mentioned. It's family, relationships, finance, faith, and physical health. How we run our families must be not different from how we run our businesses. Being ethical, that will help you, this business to grow, and God continue to bless you. I mean, as you say, we live in a time whereby that brown envelope is always there, and it's up to you whether you take it or don't take it. But if you are good at what you are doing, God will always provide. There will be clients that are going to come to you without that brown envelope. Or when you do things by the book, you will get clients. Yeah. So those are the things that we need to make sure that we are ethical, and I'm linking this with family as well. How you conduct yourself as a family or in business as well, it's also interlinked with your family. So let me allow a person to come in on the part of being ethical. And we also had some things where you inflate the price instead of charging people the right price. Let me allow another person to come in on this one. I'm sure other colleagues, they've got something to talk about, and also in terms of the experience. Sorry, I've been in meetings today. I'll end up saying colleagues. Abazalwane. We've got Utatung Maphanga from the Amolita Yasemamelodi. Maybe we can just to welcome him with just 1 or 2 words on this topic, business ethics, the experience.
Hello, Mdala.
Okay,
Sanibonani bazalwane. Beautiful discussions. Ethics is a very, very important thing. I like what Dr. Jacob says, that, if you pitch your businesses as an ethical business, your temptations will come. People will come with better paying, clients will come with better paying jobs. And sometimes you would have no jobs, and yet there are these better paying jobs. But one has to take a decision, which, no, now I'm gonna stick to ethics. For example, I think we were speaking to you this past Sabbath. We have brothers who, in fact, there's been a what's the English word? Is a stereotype, or the fact that I know I can't do business with Amasabat. As Adventists, we say I can't do business with Adventists because either one has really been treated badly by an unethical brother. You get a tender together, and then the other brother end up only being the only one who gets paid, or it's just stories that gets passed over, whether they're true or not. But because of somebody somewhere was not ethical, as a result, even brothers who could do things together because of such stories that, you Amasabata this, Amasabata that, you end up not being able to do those businesses because of such stories. So I'm just saying maybe we should really consider ethics. I know sometimes, hence there's these envelopes. I was listening to a discussion this today. Someone was saying, for example, corruption is a station, is a place, but the corrupt and the corruptee are the ones who are bringing the corruption. So sometimes, because we want to reach a destination, we end up compromising ourselves, and that compromise that we make does not only affect us at that point in time, it affects us all the way. Like I'm just saying, you end up maybe losing opportunities because you are associated with brothers or people who were not ethical. And secondly, you also, get to be known as someone who's not ethical, because we call ourselves Christians, or we are Seventh-day Adventists. We're supposed to be living a certain kind of life, which we should also bring along even with business. But we let our stomach take over our minds. So I'm just saying with this is really a good space, a good topic to focus. But you know what? When you are in business, this should be an extension of you. You don't become someone different in business and at home you're someone else, at church, at work, you're someone else. You're supposed to be a one-rounded person. That's my contribution. No, just went quiet on my side.
Sorry, I'm busy talking on mute. Sorry, let me apologize. Sorry. I was saying this part of being ethical is so important, and it's also robbing us as brothers in faith. It may not necessarily be an Adventist thing, maybe even other denominations. They are experiencing similar thing. I don't know, where we were supposed to be doing business amongst ourselves. Let me make an example. Like Dr. Jacob has indicated, Guti is doing accounting, he's doing books. So there's another opportunity for me if I'm in business of, let's say, I'm selling shoes, or I'm selling a particular product, and the books, I give it to him to run it for my business, and then I give Tatum Kodeli what is it, marketing, to do my marketing, the banners, the posters, you name it. And then let's say I'll talk to Tatu Petani, give him a business to do. I need a system to manage my business, I'll talk to him. And then let's say for communication, I talk to Utatu Maduna to do that for me. Yeah, so this money is generated by my business. It's also circulating amongst the brothers. Yeah, so this thing, it's also robbing us of such. I will stop there if there's any other person who wants to comment on this before we can move into the other one. The question is why? Why are we scared? Why is this hindering us? Can we change it? Any takers? We always talk about the Muslims. We always talk about the Jews, that money circulates. How many times? Is it 5 times or 10 times before it goes out? It's because, I take it that it's because of, it is linked to this ethical way of doing business. So they trust each other. I don't know whether some of you've bought something from I'll use from a Muslim shop, where if they don't have the size that you have, that you want, sorry, they will go next door and ask for a particular size. If let's say you're wearing size 34 and they don't have size 34, you will get that size 34. Someone will go out and go to the next shop next door and get to size 34 of the color that you want, and then give it to you, and then you pay. That is the trust that has been built by that community. So I'm going to bring it to us that we need to start or change that perception of having a questionable business ethics, so that we are able to serve one another and do business together. And then it circulates. If it needs to circulate 15 times before it goes out, let it be so. I said the time is flying now. It's 14 minutes. I see Brother Mapanga, you can come in.
Thank you, thank you, Mhlekazi. Ngiyazibulisela nami bazalwane. Before load shedding hits me,
Okay.
I think maybe just a few points on what you just said. I think the challenge, or maybe should I say, what I've picked up over time, in terms of business and being ethical. Maybe let me start by what you are saying when the Muslim example you've made. I think Tina, as people, maybe I may say just black general, we lack trust in each other. We lack trust in each other, number one. Number two, we still have a bit of a, if I may call it, a greedy mentality. What do I mean by saying greedy? Is that I can't allow, in fact, greedy mixed together with competition. We invest so much in competing with each other in such a way we lack the mentality of uplifting each other. We are still in a situation whereby Elder Nxusane cannot overtake me. I must beat him. I must make more money than him. And in such way, it goes to a point where obviously when you try to get to that level, you will always become corrupt, because by crook or by right, I want to be there. And for me to get there, obviously I will have to step in other people's toes. So I'm trying to say, if we as a Black community can start doing that, if we can start pushing away the mentality of say, I am competing, I want to be in a competition, I want to be the best, I want to overtake all of them. Everybody must bow to me. I'm the one who's making money. Because remember now, it has been said jokingly that men behave differently when they see a rich person. When a man sees another, when we are men sitting there, there's another person who's got money, we normally behave differently. They even made examples of saying, you find that this guy, he's got money, he's younger than me, but he'll order me to go buy ice, something like that. So for me, I would want things to be like that always. But now when you bring it to a Christian perspective, unfortunately, we've been taught that we need to share. Doesn't matter how legal it is, but now society has turned to say every man must work for their sweat, you know. So when I'm working hard out there and I'm seeing you always coming to beg and beg and beg, it says to me, this person can depend on me. Then I'm able to abuse you. I'm able to abuse you. I'm able to, to look down upon you, ngikubhekele phansi, because ngiyazi ukuthi ngaphandle kwami you will not survive. So Mphathi, I think if we can start to have faith in each other, just that little faith in each other, and believe in each other. With, okay, Mr. Mapanga cannot do this, but if I can teach him right, take him through the right ropes, he can make it. Even myself, when I have made it, I shouldn't be ngiphakame ngalokho, but I should also go ahead and uplift or maybe empower another brother who is struggling out there. I think that one we're still lacking on that one. If we can have that one, I can tell you we can make much money, and we are so many. Things can just go faster. But unfortunately, we are living in a world whereby we are competing with each other. So I must be seen wearing certain kind of clothes, driving certain kind of cars, living in certain places, and I must be worshipped so that I have that power. But if we can stop doing that and start empowering each other, helping each other. Someone made an example of the tenders out there. I know very well that the tender that you have, you can give me a slice of it, but you decide to eat everything so that you can get worshippers around you. Yeah. Thank you, Patty.
That is deep. Enkosi Tata Mapanga. Yeah. And the money out there, it's many. It's not going to finish by Friday. But sometimes we don't want to share. Any other? Thank you for that comment. Yeah.
Good evening, Bazalwane. Sorry, my elder, to just come in without raising my hand.
No, it's fine. It doesn't. It's an open discussion. It's fine.
Yeah. So I think, elder, the brothers that spoke before, I mean, they spoke quite a mouthful. Yeah, I hope that maybe one day we also discuss why is business so hard. Business is difficult, Bazalwane. It's not easy. I think it's easier being employed, to be honest, because of various challenges, including this one of ethical, because and my thinking is, we all went. I mean, we go into business to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because you want to make money and you want to make a lot of money to survive and also leave a legacy behind for your children.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's what then it then becomes easier to become unethical in business, because the drive that was there was to make money, right? So that you become easier to then break, that ethical line and start doing things that might compromise you. But I think that yeah, as Jacob was speaking, I was thinking we need to be true Christians, right? We need to be true men who represent God in all our dealings, in everything that we do, such that even if because Myla, you mentioned something that God will supply your need, will give you the business. We don't need to to be unethical. But hey, Elder, sometimes God is he's just watching you suffering and you let go of deals that you would have gotten by paying a small motivation fee, and you struggle for long, right? And I guess that's where maybe where Satan wants to get us to really test us, so that he sees that if we are true people, people that are true followers of Christ. So yeah, so I think for me, I mean, my comment is just that was just to say that it is not easy. It is quite difficult, not just in business, but also in employment. But I think in business, more so in business, where then your the livelihood of your children is at stake. What do you do, right? But I think that if we always try to apply, like you said that we must apply these Christian principles, not just at church, but at our homes, and also at businesses, at work, but everywhere we must apply these Christian principles. I think let me stop there. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe I might be get a beating on this one to say maybe we want to be rich by Friday. We don't want to allow the process of building up a business, a brand, in an ethical way, and then as the time goes by, then you will start the business will grow and grow and grow. There will be failures along the way, losing out of certain contracts, but there will be this one contract that God will provide you that will cover all the other contracts that you didn't get. So that is also another thing that we want to also look at when we go to into business, that it's a process. It's the same thing as okay, we want 2 years experience. So that 2 years experience, it means that you've done this work, you've learned, there were some mistakes, and you're still learning. And then at least with 2 years of experience, no, at least you know something. Then with 5 years of experience, you are known as that at least you've been cooked, you know. And then with 10 years of experience, you are an expert in this field. So that's why probably also the salaries, they tend to grow as the years of experience that you gain. So as the business as well, is that it's got its own journey. They say sometimes after 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, that's when you break through, and even your turnover is even what is it, beyond your imagination, if I'm not mistaken. And then you you grow and grow and grow. So a person who started a business just now compared to the people that have been in business for 20 years, it's not going to be the same because that person has built the clientele and they are known and so forth. And also that ethical way of doing things is also it has been established. Yeah. Well. Oh, we lost to Brother Mapanga has already indicated that he's having in power problems. I see Utatu Kumbo is just joining. He's been involved in business development and so forth. Maybe he can share one or two on business ethics before we close. It's already 8 o'clock. Almost 8 o'clock.
No, thank you, my elder. Good evening, brothers. Yeah, I missed. I joined the first part, and then I remember that there was another work meeting that I had to join. So my apologies. So I missed. So I'm not sure in terms of what was discussed.
Oh, it's about business ethics, which is being ethical in doing business, which is we need to be ethical, and also as brothers, sometimes we end up not trusting each other or shy away or rob us because of either the experiences that people went through within the community of believers, and now they tend to go outside because of this challenge of being ethical. So we're engaging on that. So yeah, that's it. And also certain things that were mentioned is that we sometimes we want to outshine and being worshipped. We want more money, and instead of sharing with one another in terms of, if let's say manufacturing something, I'm buying honey from you, I'm buying a bottle from Utate Skundla, I'm buying labels for Utate Mgodeli, I'm buying these from someone else. And then you know that as I'm manufacturing the final product, but there are people within the community that also we do business together.
Oh, okay. No, my elder, I get you. I think it was a good topic. I mean, I think from my experience and interactions with people, it's yeah, ethics is key. I think people need to be ethical when they do business. But again, I think entrepreneurship as a sport is there's a very thin line between that craziness. You live on the edge. I think because I think some people use the word ethics to push as if people need to be docile. You need a business is business. There are risks involved. I think even those people, it's like the people that you meet, they have an idea. They don't want to share the idea because they think that somebody is going to steal it. You're not going to implement that. And those people hardly implement. I think if you look around, the people that really become successful in business are people who take the risks. That's why the risk is rewarded in terms of returns. So the people who are afraid of, like, maybe because you were in business with someone maybe of the same faith, and then they knocked you, then now you don't want to maybe continue doing business with other brothers. I think those people may not be astute business people, because in business, people will knock you whether they're Adventists or non-Adventists. It's business. There are unethical people out there. Some of it is just, I don't use the term lax, but some of it is just business. It's risk, as I mentioned. But it's key to be our brother's keeper. If you look at the Jews, how they do business among each other, they let the rent circulate. I think it's different communities. They let the rent circulate among each other. And one thing that is not even spoken about here in South Africa, the ZCC, I'm not sure if you guys know the model of the ZCC. The ZCC, they support each other as well. You know,
Mhm.
Bobohotsong, no, they support each other. So they let the rand circulate. So Tina, we still lack that, especially as Adventists. I think I want to say things because I think these days I'm a bit radical. I think sometimes maybe we look at things from a poor man's mentality. The poor man's mentality is always thinking of people who want to steal from me, people who want to rob me. That's a poor man's mentality. Personally, I have it, and I'm fighting very hard against it because I think it will be the. So every time when I do those things, the poor person in me is talking, always afraid, always seeing fear, always seeing risks, not the upside side of it. I'm always seeing the downside. I think that's a poor man's mentality. So yes, risks are there. We need to be ethical, but at the end of the day, I think people need to take risks. I think the reason why today I don't have a business that is really thriving is because I failed to take risks. Had I taken risks, I think I will be very far.
Okay. So what you are saying is that as much as we experience these challenges of either being knocked out and all that, you need to take the risk. And while doing your business, you need to be ethical as well. So not everyone is ethical, but what you need to do is take risk. Don't be go out. If Moses didn't take the risk of putting his foot into the Red Sea and then get into, he was going to just stand there and be scared. So those are the risks that you are mentioning. That they say, what is it? Is it put your what is it? Put the skin. Is your skin on the game? What is the term? Is your what is it? Is it your skin? Is it
I'm
your
on mute.
skin?
Have skin in the game.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have skin in the game.
Yeah.
And yeah. So probably those are the things that we need also to do. But in closing, without taking too much of your time, is that let us be ethical, but at the same time, let us not be scared of taking risk, as there are also rewards beyond the risk that you see. I introduced two items that we're going to talk about, and it looks like that it's 1 hour is not enough for one topic. So we will expand on the other two. But why our businesses, why our businesses die when the business owner dies with? It is linking to what Tato Bethana mentioned. What he wants to create a legacy for his family. But how do you do that? Because sometimes the business tends to die when you die. How can we prevent that? Looking at the 5 pillars that we mentioned, which is your focus areas, which is family, friendships, finance, faith, and physical health. Faith was mentioned. Family, we mentioned it. You want to create that legacy for your families. But you don't just create it, but they need to also know what the business is all about. Where do you get the raw material? Where, what is it? Who's doing your advising you in terms of legal things? Marketing, who's doing it? Where you get your product, and so forth. So that when you are no longer there, they are able to continue with the business. So that's how other nations are doing it. Why can't we do it, Tina, as Blacks? With that, I thank everyone for participating, and then we will engage again on this topic on the 28th of this month. So next month, there is another topic that we'll be talking on, and I just want to double check what is the next topic. I think it says be deliberate in what you are doing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just bear with me. I'll tell you now. before we close, and I'll ask Utatu Chefu to pray for us. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Is a man in a dynamic society. That is the 21st, which is 21st of September. It will be Utatu Kumbo who will be facilitating that. Men in a dynamic society. Thank you, everyone. And then as we close, I'll ask Utatu Chefu to close with a word of prayer.
Okay. Let us bow. Our Father who is in heaven, we want to thank you for the day that we have the day that you created. The topic is has a lot of things that we need to talk about. We pray for the Holy Spirit to give us strength, to give us the mind that was in Christ, so that we are ethical in Jesus' for the things, for the family, for our friends, and for the church at large. We pray, Father God, that you guide and protect us in terms of the things that we want to do with them, so that we are able to assist to be legacy for children, to be things for the family that we have. We want to thank you, Father, for the elder son who has presented the topic that has opened my mind and think in terms of ethical doing. That bless each and everyone who is here. Bless each and everyone who could not point up according to the name of Yeshua. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, brothers.
Amen.
I hope we did get some or benefited from some of the things that we discussed. So let's continue again on the 28th and expand further. If it means that we have another session, we can, because this is a technical and a broad topic. Thank you.
Thank you, my elder.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And
Okay,
good
thank you,
night.
thank you, Elder.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.